Another day, another dollar. This brother O.T.G, brother Charles 7X. You know, it's the O.T.G podcast, O.T.G network. You know, I'm just tapping in real quick for YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, all of that stuff. I want to hop in real quick on this Tekashi 6ix9ine, Wack 100, DJ Academics deal. You know, I watched the 3-hour interview, and I actually thought it was pretty good. You know, I'm not super hype about a bunch of the information that was in there, but again, I'm not from the West Coast or the East Coast where gangs was built off of jails and all of that type of idea. I'm from the Midwest where gangs was built for the neighborhood and to take care of your people against the police. And so from my standpoint and watching of where I came from in the gangs to, you know, now being in the Nation of Islam at 41 years old, and just, you know, that's something that I've done regularly. But prior to these last 6 months, you know what I mean, I was still affiliated and thinking of things in a different way. So a lot of people been hitting me up wanting my 2 cents on it, and my 2 cents is, a lot of you guys not going to like it, but I think a lot of these rappers have beef with Tekashi 6ix9ine because he's the realest person in the room. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's validated, got kidnapped. He validated, had his homies try to set him up. He validated, was paid his way into a gang and was trying to get people murked and shot and all this other stuff. Like, he validated, was walking around with security and trying to run down on people. And I think that, unfortunately, to some of these rappers, you know, having beef with a guy like him kind of justifies their thug, justifies their realness. You know what I mean? I don't think, like, you know, because the reality of all of that is, like, one of the things Wack said, you know, and I don't really got too much to say about that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think enough people said what they needed to say. I think that the questioning was weird. I think that the whole fact of him being in there was kind of strange, but it's not none of my business. You know, I watched it, so I understand for content purposes why they did it. He clearly said it was for entertainment. I clearly understand why some people feel like, you know, the Bloods ain't for sale, this, that, and the other, but I'm not a Blood. You know, my affiliation was never with the Bloods. It was something prior, before the Bloods, you know what I mean? So again, that's not really my space to speak on. I know that it don't look good. It looks kind of crazy, you know, but at the same time, what I realize is that this guy, Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know, he has sat in the house, he has studied. You know, I believe that they gave him the rules and the laws, and he knows them in and out. The ways that he calls people out, he's calling them out according to their literature and things that they're supposed to do in order to have rules of engagement. Now, whether people want to say that's because he's a police officer and they gave him the rules, or if, you know, he's just a guy who don't got nothing to lose, and when he finally was a part of something, he was ready to put his life on the line for it, you know what I'm saying? Well, he did, you know. I don't necessarily say or think that what he did was right. I would never do what he did. That's not my moves. I don't think I would ever actually be in the position that he was in either, because I know about things a different way. I think that's something that people who don't know and are new to it all, they'll end up in those weird situations and they got to make weird decisions, you know what I mean? I think it was a lot of talk about who's a civilian and who's a gangster, and about a lot of street rules and different things that don't really apply to people who's sitting around watching YouTube for 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? I think that the people who live by a certain kind of rules, they live by those rules, and that's the rules they have to abide by to survive. I think that people who choose to live by those rules, they choose to live by those rules, and then they got to deal with whatever comes with those choices. So what I heard a lot about, honestly, was a lot of accountability. of guys just having to be accountable for, you know, whatever they thought and their interpretation of what the rules was, and now having to live by the decisions that they make, trying to abide or uphold those rules. So, you know, I don't really understand why people keep wanting to have beef with the dude. You know, if you think he's a rat and he's going to tell on you and he's the cops, then it looks like you dry snitching, or you trying to pick somebody you think is safe. Because if he's the police, when are you going to ever really rumble this guy? Like, when are you going to get a heads up? Like, if he's so much the police that people think he is, then when is any of this stuff that you guys think is going to happen going to actually happen? You know what I mean? Like, I don't really understand the logic. I think a lot of people are just name dropping bull to try to get some clout, to try to get some traffic going in and out to their blogs, or in and out to their music, or in and out to whatever. I think that the pandemic got a slow motion out here, and since sales is slow, guys is looking for anything to latch on to try to get some traction to their projects or their old music or whatever the case may be. And that's really what I think about it, you know what I mean? I'm not really hell-bent, or don't really bother me either way. You know, nothing that he's doing is really making it difficult. I don't really care about his music. I've lived through the whole situation and didn't really play none of his music, didn't have to deal with none of the issues or fallout. A lot of that is based on choice, what you choose to put inside of your system and take in, what you choose to make serious and what you choose not to make serious. And that's just one of those things I didn't really, you know, I listened to the song, but it just wasn't for me. You know, I'm 41. It's not really for me. The young boys who it was for, who I manage, you know, they feel how they feel and they operate how they operate. Again, that's still not me. So, you know, as an OG, I try to tell them what I need to tell them, but they're going to do what they want to do. And we just provide a better example. So providing a better example, you know, we not out here snitching. We not out here trying to tell them violate nobody. We not out here trying to do all that. We try and live by, you know, the black man is God, black woman is God, and a higher standard, you know. But I just want to touch base on that, you know, get back into this entertainment news for the blogs and for my YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe, share, all of that. You know, my base is, I felt like, you know, a lot of Tekashi 6ix9ine, when it comes to real street crimes and things of that nature, I think he might be validated a little bit more realer than a lot of these guys. And because of that, he becomes a fair opponent. You know, you want to take out somebody who you know is validated and really got stripes. He got stripes in the street, and then he got stripes telling. And so a lot of people is looking at like, yo, if I could take him out, if I'm the one who could really handle him and get this guy out of here, then I'm going to get stripes. You know what I mean? And I think it's a lot of that going on. You know, far as the whole 21 Savage Clubhouse thing, I think 21 Savage did exactly what he's supposed to do. I think he told him he was scared. I think he let him know that if, you know, he ever saw them, that if somebody tried to do something, he was afraid for his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, people was threatening him on a public platform. And respectfully and responsibly, you have to handle things correctly, and that is the correct way to handle it. So I think all of that was strange. Part of me thinks some of that is just, you know, to try to pipe things up and get something going. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're all wrong because we kind of used to living in this internet land where that happens. But that's kind of what I thought it was, is there's a project or something on the way. You know, I would just advise guys not to really get in the mix with that. You know, I think, you know, it kind of feels like Wack 100 was looking to manage him and probably will manage him. He kept saying something about if we playing chess. And I know that he would try to apply that to the conversation. But I felt like it was a bigger goal at hand. And for him to invite him to Clubhouse, you know, I feel like it's him with Blueface all over again. And I think that Tekashi, you know, made a good point about Blueface. And Wack really didn't have no response. And in that moment, it made sense that he should probably be managing him. That's how I feel, you know, and I could be wrong. But it was just weird for him to come up on Clubhouse with the Bull and then get in an argument with somebody he was taking in. You know, it's just all weird, man. And I'm not, you know, it's all strange. It just, from the outside looking in, it doesn't really make sense, but it's not supposed to make sense for me. The men got a decision and a choice of whatever they doing, and they know the goal of what they trying to make and do. And I guess it's just for us to wait and see. You know what I mean? So, Brother O.T.G, Brother Charles 7X, I'm just tapping in real quick. That's it. Make sure you subscribe, follow, share, all of that cool stuff.